Hey folks, it is BusanKevin here. Kevin in Japan, and you know what? A lot of you probably know, if you've watched my videos for any time, I just wrote a book. That's right, I have an ebook out there now called Teaching in Asia, Tales and the Real Deal. And it's all about teaching. So, I'm going to make some videos about teaching. In one section in my book, I talk about preparation, and this is a video that's really geared towards new teachers, people who are new to teaching in Japan, new to teaching in Korea. And if you're inexperienced, you haven't been in a classroom much at all before, or at all, a key to having successful classes, and they may not all be successful in the beginning, is being prepared. Not just being prepared, but I suggest being over-prepared. When you have a lesson, prepare a lot more than you think you will need. A few years ago, as a head teacher and a teacher trainer, I was observing a new teacher at a school I worked at. And he was doing something called a circle time. And what a circle time is, it's something at a kindergarten, which is essentially about a 30 or 40 minute kind of ESL time for kindergarten students. And then you would break off into your normal daily language arts, mathematics, music, science lessons. And he was supposed to do this circle time for about 30 minutes. And he had prepared a lot of different activities. And he had a lesson plan, which normally you shouldn't have. It's good to map out what you're going to do for a circle time, but you shouldn't have a lesson plan with you and have children sitting around you watching you read a lesson plan. But he had some very good activities, some different flashcard activities, phonics, sight word, this type of thing, calendar activities, but he's really nervous. And he started doing his circle time, and he started speeding through it at a much greater pace than he had anticipated. In the 15 minutes, he was done. And he just sat there, shell-shocked, and looked at me and said, "That's it. That's all I have." And the kids looked at him, looked at me, looked at him, looked at me, and I had to jump in there and fill the rest of the time, off the cuff. Now, in time, after you've been teaching for a while, you will develop a bag of tricks. You will develop an arsenal of skills, different games, activities, things like that. And you'll become creative, and you'll be able to develop activities and think of them off the cuff if necessary. But in the beginning, you won't have that ability if you're new to teaching. So what I suggest is over-preparing, preparing too much. And the great thing about preparing too much is if you race through things, you will have material to support you. And then if things go as originally planned, you have extra material left. You can always use it for a future lesson, and that's one of the amazing things about over-preparation. You don't just throw it away, you can always use it. So, there's a teacher tip from me, Kevin, a guy who's been teaching for a long time, and that is kind of inspired by a very, it's a section in my book, a small section, called Teacher Preparedness. Actually, it's not called Teacher Preparedness. For some reason, I can't remember what it's called. But I have a section on teaching tips for new teachers, and it's in there. So the book, again, my book, is called Teaching in Asia, Tales and the Real Deal. The link is below. Click on it. Check it out. If you're a new teacher, if you're someone who's thinking about coming to Korea, coming to Japan to teach, I think it's going to be a really useful resource for you. But there you go. A little teacher tip from Kevin here in Japan, and I hope you're doing well. By the way, I'm wearing a suit today. I'm coming from my school's opening ceremony. Saturday, too. Working on Saturday. Asia, different than North America. Alright guys, take care. Hope you're doing well. And remember, click on the links below.